Well, I'm ready when you guys are.
I'm ready.
Let's play the music and dance.
Let's do it. Bum bum ba bum bum. Ba-bum, ba-bum, Barry Lyndon.
Oh, what a tune.
Barry Lyndon.
That's my top notes, triumphant music in Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
What a pick, Laura. Where did this come
welcome. Well, I think it's almost exactly the same thing as what happened with Uncut Gems, which is Kira made me watch it. I didn't like it when I first watched it. It stuck in my mind and I thought, I want to watch that again. And I did, and I loved it. And I think this might be the best film that's ever been made. And I'm fully ready for you all to have hated it because, you know, I did the first time too. So I will be picking it again next time. Yeah, what'd you get? What'd you think?
I think I'm starting to resent you picking films you hate.
Although it seems to backfire on you each time. Every time you pick a film you think we're all going to hate, we turn out to like it.
Did you like this? Oh my god, really?
Yeah, this was great.
Did you like Uncut Gems?
Oh no, that sucked. No, that was terrible. No, that was the last time you managed it. But no, this time, what a film. Love a good epic.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked it. Yeah, I thought it's just, wow. Yeah.
It had nearly everything that Count of Monte Cristo had, but it was better somehow. It was less campy and lame and more awesome and somehow believable, I guess, because it was a true story or something.
I was so happy.
I loved every second of it. Bit of mood building, but also lots of just telling us an interesting story about it seems a very interesting man.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. What did you other people think? It's okay if it's not the same.
I thought that I want to be Barry Lyndon when I grow up.
This happens a lot with the sort of. I don't want to say villains, but.
What an excellent film, yes.
Did you enjoy it as well? My God.
Why did you not like it the first time? And what is there not to like?
It was so long and slow.
Well, that's why you watch it in 3 installments.
That's why you set aside an evening and enjoy every minute of it.
Claire, tell me you were bored and I'm not going out of my mind.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did not think it was too long. I think I would have preferred to watch it in 2 settings. I know Michael objects to that, but I enjoyed that they took the time to tell the stories, but I just don't have the attention span to keep with it. My mind kind of wanders and I start thinking about cheese and stuff.
But it's cumulative.
It's cumulative, Claire.
Wait. There was an intermission. You were supposed to take a break.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
in fact, we did take a break. We paused it for about 10 minutes. I think I made a drink.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Wow, you did the intermission, properly. I took
Absolutely.
probably...
Oh, you've got to, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, you
took maybe half an hour off.
Stingers, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a stinger each. They'd been drinking brandy in the film, and we decided we fancied a brandy.
Oh, that's great. Excellent.
So, yeah, positive, but verging on too long. So I think I'm somewhere in the middle of everyone, I think.
Cool.
Good story.
Yeah, I think had I become just like Uncut Gems, it was amazing. You know, I think the first time I was so aware of the time. I think because also I'd been forced to watch it, and that never goes well. You know, when someone just puts something on, it's like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Kira again?
It was, yeah. Yeah, she does that to me a lot. But yeah, then the next time, and she described the same thing happening to her when she was forced to watch it at work for the second time. After the first time, she got too bored and like turned it off. But then the second time, like me, was just like captivated by it for some. I think because of how slow it is, like it is glacial. I
don't know.
Oh, I find the pacing, like, I love it. Like, I think it's great because of that now, which is that it just does. It's a seeps? No.
Sorry?
What? It's cumulative. No, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even find it slow. I thought there was just loads of it.
Oh, right. Oh, no, I think it's like the story moves so slow. Like, for me, anyway, like, it spends so much time on each part. And then I
guess there were a lot of lingering looks and staring and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
But there was a lot of dialogue as well, kept it moving, kept it feeling like something was happening.
I think there were just a lot of times where a director who would have cut things very, very severely. And made it a 90-minute film. It would have been, what was it, 6 spools, whatever they call it. And the women chase her.
Yes.
And I think you could have compressed it down. And I think it would probably have been, it'd have come across a lot more like the Count of Monte Cristo.
They ran out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, you're so right. Yeah, this was basically, we needed Stanley Kubrick to direct The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, yeah, that would have been amazing.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of your source material.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, live with it.
Mm-hmm.
Make something of it.
I feel like that's what he did.
Do you guys get bored in, like, The Lord of the Rings or Titanic or something?
No.
No.
No? Okay.
I do.
No, or a little bit. Okay. Something, it's not just the length of this that is putting you guys off. It's the fact that it's not good enough to be this long or too boring to be this long or something.
I have no problem with the length.
It was boring.
I didn't think it was boring the second time either. I just thought it was slow.
Okay.
Like I thought the pacing was slow, but I wasn't bored the second time. I was like enthralled by it.
Excellent.
Wait, maybe I think of the way that they spoke is a little slow, but I did not think that the movie per se was slow.
Okay.
Are you with Michael that there was just a lot of content and that's why it was so long?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, he's in the army for 2 hours.
Is he?
I don't think it's
absolutely
quite
not.
But he's just for a long bloody time. Yeah, but then he gets press ganged into the Prussians.
Oh God.
Although, then I guess he does desert them as well. Maybe a lot does happen. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, what happens? I think what was getting me, and one of the reasons it felt so epic, was getting near the end and remembering how the film had started and thinking, wow, he's come so far.
Yeah.
Really?
Like what, he's in Ireland, he's flirting with his cousin, and then he kills the British officer in a duel and has to go on the road, runs away. They do this whole thing where they set up the duel to be fake, so just to make him leave. And then he gets mugged on the road and he joins the army, and that is like a sixth of the film. There's so many different adventures he gets into. I love it.
All neatly told, even though we're seeing it, by the lovely narrator.
Yes.
Did you recognise the voice?
Oh, no, I don't think I did.
I didn't.
Anyone else?
Oh, in fact, I thought I did, and then I thought, no, it can't be that, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh, it was Michael Hordern, who also narrated or was Frith in the Watership Down animated film.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, I definitely didn't recognise that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, 1975. What a time to be alive.
Good job they recorded it all.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you like the narration? Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to pick Michael up on his point that he'd come so far from the start of the film, because at the end he was still in a duel with someone.
Oh,
which
was
I know. There were just 2 duels, and they bookended the whole film.
Mm.
And in the first duel, right, he was like shaking and nervous, and by the final one, he was the dominant, the nasty man who was in charge, and his son or his stepson was the one who was shaky and nervous. Full circle.
Yeah.
It was still
Cosmic ballet.
The dominant,
Cosmic ballet.
confident one that got shot. Doesn't matter how nervous you are.
Yeah.
How confident you are.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought that was great. It was a really nice sort of counterpoint at the end there.
Yeah, that was a great final duel. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Again, they gave it time to breathe, didn't they?
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
The tension.
It was like, 4 or 5 hours of the film was that duel? I can't remember exactly.
It must have been 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And there were at least 4 lines of dialogue in it.
And then the British Empire was vanquished forever, and they didn't have to pay the triple tax after all.
That's what this needed, an extra hour that was just cricket.
That's what all films need.
Yeah, we should find more cricket films.
Let's not. Please don't. Like, I know you're joking, but also please don't.
You know I might.
Yeah, please don't.
No promises.
Mm.
Yeah, Rory came in for just after the intermission, so he sat down and watched the second half with me.
Right.
And during the duel, when he misfires the first time, Rory just burst out laughing. And I was like, oh, I never would have thought that was like a funny moment, but it is kind of funny. I laughed because his face is just so shocked. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a few moments that I actually laughed at that I'm not sure I was supposed to laugh at.
Oh, what else did you laugh at?
Interesting.
Do you know when the 2 sons come in, when they've got the crowd there and she's playing the piano? I'm not describing this very well. And then just out of nowhere, or maybe not out of nowhere, but Barry just attacks him and like starts beating the shit out of him, and then all the nobles jump on him, and it's like just this chaos, and I couldn't stop laughing. I was just I for some reason found it so funny because it was just such a palaver. I don't know.
Yeah, I laughed a bit at that, just at the chaos, just everybody wading in and just making it worse.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, I really didn't see him just beating the shit out of him.
I think I really enjoyed the women just screaming instead of just leaving the room. It's like, no, we'll just hang around. We'll have a scream. That'll help.
Yeah, you want a good show, don't you?
Oh yeah,
women.
What are they like?
Women. Maybe we should talk about the women, because I foresaw a point that someone was going to raise, and I was trying to think of a way to defend it, and I'm not sure I can. Which is that the women were kind of, that you couldn't say this was a feminist film. That especially his wife, the Lady Lyndon, was really passive and like. So I don't know. What do we think? I've got a few things to say, but what do you think?
I thought there was a little bit of Lady Macbeth in his mother, like towards the end.
Oh yeah,
she was sort of convincing him to get a title of his own and stuff like that. She had that little chat with him about how nothing was his, and just that voice of that sensible voice, sort of driving him to gain. Felt a bit like a strong woman.
Yeah,
there was something there.
Yeah, his mother.
People usually just.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Go on. Oh, no. People normally discuss whether women drive the plot in a film.
Yeah.
And I think she was the only one that drove the plot at all, but did in quite a profound way, but with maybe perhaps not very much screen time and not much focus on her.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to... Well, not exactly that, but yeah, the driving the plot. She takes a real material impact on how things turn out. And
yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know if she was the only one who drove the plot, but that's... I suppose everything else just sort of happened.
Yeah, I think all the other stuff with the women stuff was happening to the women, right?
Mm-mm.
I suppose Nora pretty screwed things up, didn't she?
Who's Nora? Is that his wife?
No, Nora was his first love, his cousin.
Yeah.
Who went off with the British officer.
Didn't he dance funny?
He did, didn't he?
He was funny.
Do you know, I quite liked him. Or is he John Quinn?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't so bad. I thought we were maybe going to see him again.
Nah, fuck him.
I thought he was going to be the final enemy like Count Mondego.
Yeah, it makes you just let that go, but I suppose he's just headed back to his home in Ireland, so maybe we'll encounter him again.
Oh, there we are. Oh, was he heading back to his home in Ireland at the end?
I thought he was. Thought he'd been exiled from England.
Yeah, well, he had friends in all the ports in Europe, didn't he?
True, yeah, I shouldn't assume. Yeah. Oh, well.
Exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Nora, with her crazy decisions, sort of made things happen, but nah.
1,500 a year, Michael.
1,500 a year. I love that. As they said that, I thought, because it was early enough in the film, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. I thought, is this going to be Pride and Prejudice? Where the whole thing is just them talking about how many a year somebody earns.
Not 4 in 4,000 women would marry Jack Quinn.
It made me think of the John Finnemore sketch where somebody says, he earns 300 a year, and the other one says, well, that sounds like a lot, but this is the olden days, so I don't really know. Well, it must be quite a lot. 300 a year? That's nearly one a day. So that was another bit I laughed at. There were quite a few bits I laughed at, actually, that I don't think I was supposed to, but it didn't ruin it somehow. It wasn't a silly film.
No, it wasn't.
In the same way that maybe The Count of Monte Cristo a little bit was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more ambiguous. I think you were allowed to laugh at some of the bits because they were just absurd. And I think it knew it was trying to provoke a kind of an absurdity that you could either laugh at or be like, oh, jeez. Yeah.
Would it be fair to say it had quite a neutral tone?
Yes, I would say, I'm not sure I would describe it as neutral, but certainly detached.
Detached, that's just right, yeah. Even the narrator's voice was very plain, straightforward. It wasn't enthusiastic or trying to make us feel sad or happy. And even that music, it was kind of the same music in the happy bits and the sad bits. Just this is something momentous sort of music.
Yeah.
And that was good. Like it was telling us a history, which I guess it sort of was, and letting us decide how to feel. I appreciated that.
It was subtle, I think. It was a very subtle film in places. Apart from, obviously, the ridiculous grandeur.
Yes, okay.
I take it back. It wasn't subtle at all.
I think elements of it were subtle.
Yeah, I think a lot of the acting was so underplayed. Like they were just so detached. Even their
what's the
movement
opposite
was
of
slow.
campy?
Masculine.
I won't go masculine because, of course, I wouldn't want to claim that the stars of The Count of Monte Cristo were not masculine.
Dull.
Dull, yes. This was a dull film, and I liked it.
Although, just on the women, can we talk about Lady Lyndon?
Yes.
What did you think of her? Helen, was that her name?
I don't think I got her name, just Lady Lyndon.
Remember. She was just a person, wasn't she?
I remember her signing it with H.
Oh, yeah.
Remember she signed all the signature, all the banknotes and things.
Yeah.
I found her really interesting.
What did you think of her?
I thought she was extreme, even though she was the most passive character ever. Like, she literally did nothing to avert anything that, which again is kind of fine, but I think you could interpret her as being quite weak, quite just maybe one-dimensional, maybe a bit melancholic, but I don't know. I think she was very expressive, even when she was being like as still as a statue.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of sadness that she played quite well.
Yeah.
And joy at times.
Yeah, that's true. I really liked her. I just...
Yeah, I found her watchable.
I didn't really note her at all. She was just there. I feel like all the important conflict was between Lord Bullingdon and Barry.
I see. I think of her, like, I think most prominently for some reason.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Sorry?
I didn't think of her as prominent. I guess for the same reason Claire's saying that she was just passive and just kind of there.
Yeah, I suppose I saw her as kind of the object of Barry's cruelty, which seemed quite important for the film if it's just documenting his like gradual degradation and like
that's true,
corruption and all that. Then she's kind of like the centre of that.
Yeah, I found it really interesting that he came and apologised to her that time. And that seemed to be them finding some common ground and finding some way of living together and maybe even loving each other a bit. And that was nice.
It was nice. I know, go on.
I think he stopped cheating on her from there on, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't
treated her well, and they were a nice family for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I suppose that it was just the grief that kind of drove them apart again. Or how I interpret it.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah. Unless they never really did reconcile properly. I need to watch it again.
Yeah, I think I've missed a lot of subtleties there.
Layers.
Film.
Yeah, I think it was a layered film.
3 hours of layers.
Like an onion.
Yeah.
So there's actually at least 6 hours of film, possibly 9 for us to unravel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so she's really passive, but it's, even though she's the main sort of female character, apart from his mother. Oh, sorry if that cut out there.
Yeah.
But I think it's the men who are really vulnerable. Like Nora and his mother and Lady Lyndon all just survive, and they're basically the same as they were at the beginning. They go back to their same... But it's like, if you think about all the men in the film, something bad happens to pretty much all of them, which is that Barry's father dies in a duel. His military friend gets shot. The Reverend is like banished by his mother. I can't remember what happens to the Chevalier, but he's basically exiled from Austria, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lady Lyndon's husband dies of a stroke, and then in the end, Barry, bloody Lord Bullingdon's the only one who's all right, and he's basically the most vulnerable of them all because, he was sick at the duel. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Thanks. I was really proud of myself when I wrote all those down. I was like, it all fits. I might have just missed really key male characters that I'm just ignoring.
You've forgotten little Brian who died as well.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
He got proper ruined.
Yeah. He was a brat though, to be fair.
He was what?
No, he was cute. I felt bad. That was sad.
He was so lovely.
No.
And I just wanted to give him a big hug.
No, he was quite annoying.
No?
Yeah, no.
What? What are you talking about?
That's bar pencil.
What do you mean he was spoiled?
I mean, his dad
He was so polite.
He asked for a horse, and when his father said no, he said, "Please get me a horse. Say yes."
Yeah.
And then he defied his father.
Exactly.
I did the same with the Nintendo 64. What are you talking about?
I see.
And he said please, and he said thank you, and he gave his dad a big hug when he found out that he was going to have it. And
no, he should have accepted the no the first time he heard it.
But he wanted a horse.
And he was weirdly obsessed with all the dead people in his dad's stories.
Kids are like that, though. I don't know if we've said this before, but kids, in my experience, are obsessed with like death and gore.
Absolutely.
All kids are. It's weird.
Yeah, in the same way they like scary stories, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just morbid.
There's something weird about like dead people's decapitated heads. I feel like that's an issue they should have dealt with when he was younger.
No, I'm all for it. And also, that kind of justifies why he'd want a horse so badly, right?
So that he could decapitate
it. Because he's grown up on these tales of daring and war and dashing sergeants with sword fights and everything. Yeah.
What does strenuous mean?
Oh.
He was so sweet. I can't believe you all didn't like him.
Oh, but that was so annoying. He just kept making noise and interrupting.
Yeah, but like, what 8-year-old doesn't do that sometimes? And he just had to be a bit more patient.
One that's not spoiled.
You'd have beat him, would you? Like Lord Bullingdon
No,
did.
I would have taught him far earlier that he doesn't just get attention because he wants it. Like, he doesn't just get a horse because he wants it.
Oh.
Rich kids, eh?
Wow.
Yep.
Entitled.
Oh.
He was quite sweet, I do agree. Like, he was quite cute.
Little Lord Brian. I just couldn't get over he's being called Brian. Too much.
I also couldn't get over the fact that the other one was called Lord Bullingdon.
Yeah, even as like a tiny child.
Like essentially from birth. Yeah, it was so weird. And they were all calling him Lord Bullingdon, including his mother.
When he was getting told off.
Yeah, like, did we ever find out his first name?
Lord.
God, I don't know.
It's just a cruel joke.
Yeah.
No, I can't remember.
Well, there we are.
Yeah. Was it weird that they had sheep pulling the funeral cart?
Yeah, I wondered about that.
Well,
that must mean something, given that the sheep also pulled his birthday card.
Yeah, I thought that was significant as well. I couldn't work out what it was signifying, but it felt important.
He also slept with a sheep doll.
Maybe he just liked sheep.
Maybe he just liked sheep. Or maybe he was supposed to be like a lamb.
Oh. That's like nice.
Innocent part of Barry, which is inevitably crushed by Barry's, I don't know, indulgence of wealth and gift.
Oh. That's nice.
Maybe it's there's sheep everywhere, aren't there?
Symbolism.
I was going to say maybe it's something to do with Ireland and sheep.
Oh, maybe.
Irish stew is a lamb stew, isn't it? So maybe there are lots of lambs in Ireland.
Yeah, something like that.
In Barryville or wherever he's from. Yeah, that was very sad that he passed away.
Yeah.
The baby passed away?
Brian did. It was just very sad that he died.
Was Brian the baby?
The little boy.
Well, I mean, I think of life as being fair, so maybe life was giving him what he deserved.
Maybe he should have shut up when Lord Bullingdon told him to stop interrupting.
Maybe he should not have just taken the horse when he was explicitly prohibited from doing so.
Do you think this is a moral story showing you what happens if
I do like this moral, yes.
Do what your father tells you.
Especially when you're under 10.
I think the whole film is just aimed at under 10s, and that's the one part that they're supposed to take something from.
This film has something for everyone.
Yeah. This started as an after-school special, I hear.
And all the, having sex with prostitutes, that was just something for the dads to enjoy while they're watching it.
Yeah, it's like pantomime, isn't it?
Yeah. Some cute animals. That's a tune everyone gets to sing along to.
Some magic to watch. So
yeah, that was good. I enjoyed the magic show.
Yeah.
Who says variety's dead?
How old? When was this set? What?
Was this set in 1790 something? 1770 something?
Yeah, 1770 something, I think.
Oh, they did dress funny, didn't they?
Oh, love it.
Funnier as it went on.
Because it got fancier.
I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
More ruffles.
Ridiculous. The ruffles.
The wigs.
The wigs. The blush. The beauty spots. What is that?
Oh, the absurdly pale faces.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Absolutely ridiculous.
What is ridiculous about all of that?
Yes, I agree.
I feel
maybe that's what people are supposed to look like, and we just didn't figure it out for the first 100,000 years of humans existing, and we promptly forgot again.
I think it won the Oscar for Best Costume Design.
Nice. I mean, I assume they got it accurate.
I assume so, I think.
And that people really did just dress that funny.
I mean, it seems to fit with the other Regency films and books and things that I have watched and read.
Just madness. Loved it.
Yeah, I think it won a few Oscars.
Oh, right.
I think it won 4. It was nominated for 7. It did not win Best Picture.
Is this you Oscar baiting? Secret Oscar baiting?
Oh, we're all at it.
I can't believe I missed it. I can't believe I picked Journey to the Centre of the Bloody Earth instead of this. Yeah, there's a few things this film did that were really interesting and that it's kind of known for and people talk about. That my sister told me about and then I read about it, which is that it only uses natural light.
Really?
Did you notice this? So Stanley Kubrick did not use any lighting other than candles, daylight, things like that. Oh, that's
cool.
Oh, no.
It did all look very real. I wonder if that's part of it. Good job.
So I have a question about Stanley Kubrick, because the only other film I've seen by him was Clockwork Orange. It's a very different sort of film.
Yeah. Didn't you see Doctor Strangelove?
Yeah, I did see Doctor Strangelove.
Wait, I think that Laura's dead.
Oh.
Oh, Laura.
Did you go on the horse, Laura?
Well, it had to happen. You hear us, Laura?
She's greyed out on my screen.
Yeah, me too. Oh, there she goes. Yeah, I'll stop the recording.
Yes, so it was all filmed with natural light. There was no lighting. Yep.
Brilliant.
Seamless.
Fascinating.
No one will have any idea we stopped recording for 15 minutes. Anyway, cool.
Anyway, yeah, thousands of candles. Sorry, I still want to talk about the light.
Brilliant
It's interesting,
stuff.
Though.
Yeah, that is. Is that a Stanley Kubrick thing? Or was that just this?
So. I think it was just this.
Right.
I've no idea. I shouldn't answer that. Apart from The Shining. But to be honest, I think it was just this because he had to use so many candles and it would be really weird if he used loads of candles in The Shining.
Or 2001 A Space Odyssey was all candle lit.
Yeah. What did you say, Claire?
So I've seen The Shining as well. It turns out I've seen quite a lot of Stanley Kubrick films.
You've seen at least 4 Stanley Kubrick films. Have you seen 2001?
No.
Ah, okay.
I haven't seen that either.
Cosmic Ballet really is a cosmic ballet.
Is it? Wow.
Oh.
We should watch it before the next Oscars so it can be entered into that category.
Best Cosmic Ballet. Or Cosmicus Ballet.
I think it was going to be most abstract cosmic ballet.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say this is different from all the other films that we've seen him do?
Yes.
Yes.
I'd never have said, that was classic Stanley Kubrick.
Mm. Yes, hard to tell. I haven't seen more than one other one. So
okay.
I think I will watch more. Maybe I like Stanley Kubrick, or maybe it's just this film. I want to find out.
Oh, maybe we'll end up choosing some stuff. I heard he did an adaptation of Sense and Sensibility that was meant to be amazing.
You can.
That's not true. I just made that up.
Yeah. Good one. I hear that's what Clockwork Orange was.
Really, really
abstract
distant adaptation. Oh yeah, for sure. They filmed some of that in Aylesbury. That's the only thing I know about it.
I don't know what's the joke anymore.
Just no, not even a joke. Part of Clockwork Orange was filmed in Aylesbury.
Genuinely was.
Yeah. Totally
I thought you were
serious.
doing like a Last Kingdom callback.
No.
Speaking of Last Kingdom callbacks, did everyone enjoy when they made the square?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We make the square. Yeah, Claire and I both laughed at that because we love it when they make the square in the Last Kingdom.
So this is when they solved their dispute with their fists, Fernando, when he was in the English
in the camp
army. And the guy, I don't know, put grease in his mug or something. So
yes.
punched him. I couldn't really work out what he'd done wrong, but I liked that they made the square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that guy kept getting up, didn't he? I'd have admitted I was beaten.
Yeah.
It's like Cool Hand Luke.
Right.
He should have just kept going a bit longer and then he would have had the respect of everyone in the camp.
Yeah. There we are. But yeah, that was good stuff. The whole dueling thing really is kind of hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you get really angry with someone, you throw your drink in their face and then they tell you you've insulted them and then you get your diaries out and arrange a time to meet so that you can obtain satisfaction. It was bizarre.
Yeah. but all so polite.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Right, so are duels a thing? Did people do this a lot in the olden days?
This was really something that happened.
But it was illegal.
It became illegal.
Yeah.
Okay. It just seemed like surely it'd be easier to like immediately have your little duel with your fists than risk the police coming and finding you attempting to shoot each other.
Yeah.
I just don't get it at all.
Fists isn't very gentlemanly.
You got to arrange your seconds. You got to do the whole thing with the pistols.
That's the proper way.
Yeah. Apparently, dueling was outdated. Became illegal in 1859.
That's so recent.
That's in the United States.
Absurdly recent, isn't it? Oh, in the United States.
Let me look up Europe.
So I think probably something similar in Europe. I think the last duel in France might have been in the 1960s.
No way.
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube.
What?
It was an MP. One of the other MPs had like shouted something at him during a debate, and he demanded satisfaction, and they ended up having a duel like in his garden with sabres. And I think by that point they were like the tip was bent over or something. But they still went to first blood or something. I can't remember.
Where was this?
France, Paris, I think.
Wow.
Bizarre. Yeah, I looked into the rules of this a couple of years ago, and I read the full Wikipedia page. And it's,
I didn't know you were a real expert.
Yeah, you get me. Amazing. There's quite complex rules and stuff which don't seem natural at all. Like this whole thing with having seconds, and he fired into the ground, and that seemed to be some way of like cancelling the duel, but in a way that was honourable. I didn't understand it, to be honest, but yeah, people really did this stuff.
We should go back to that tradition.
I agree.
Maybe we should.
Fabulous tradition. Yeah.
I disagree. I demand satisfaction.
Pistols at dawn, gentlemen.
I wish that women could demand satisfaction. I'd be all over that. It doesn't seem like that was something that women could do. Bloody patriarchy.
Yeah. Took a long time for men to care about female satisfaction.
Hey.
Michael, you're so rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there have been places and times in history when women have duelled.
I'd like to read the Wikipedia page on that. That'd be interesting.
I wonder if part of this is because women are generally not so stupid as to do that kind of thing. Like, somebody called me ugly or whatever, I'm going to fight them to the death, is the kind of thing that generally only men come up with, right?
Oh, well, I don't know. Then again, as the narrator said in Barry Lyndon, men just enforced tranquility on women. So we didn't have a bloody choice.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Do you remember he said it so ironically and so like it was just saturated with irony, and he was like, she preferred a quiet and tranquil life, or rather, to tell the truth, Barry preferred it for her.
Yes, okay. That was a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did seem rotten, all of these. Well, again, all the women we saw in this were just sort of being carried along on the tide.
Mm.
And we're sort of criticising the writers for not making them more interesting, but in a way it was not their fault. They weren't given the opportunity to do anything interesting.
And I think, as Claire was saying, his mum did the best that she really used all the tools at her disposal, despite the fact that there were so many restrictions and stuff placed on her, and she eventually did fall victim to Lord Bullingdon. But she had her fair share of control over the men during the film.
Yeah, she did all right, didn't she?
Yeah. There was a lot of violence. A lot of institutional, patriarchal state violence that was really ritualized and really absurd and performative, but and polite,
but
and
also
just very everyday.
A real baser need to inflict pain on someone.
Yeah.
You mean all the dueling and the corporal punishment and stuff?
Yeah. Remember the gauntlet where that Prussian soldier has to go through and just be whipped? Horrific. Yeah, so it's kind of paired between this really obvious brutal violence and then this really civil kind of cruelty and physical violence, I guess.
I'll never understand hurting small children like that. I know we've joked about how not Barry, what was his name? Brian was spoiled, but beating Lord Bullingdon, that was horrible.
Yeah.
You're
just little, you can't do that.
Well, if you don't, then they end up riding horses and killing themselves.
That's true. You never beat Brian, and look what happened to him.
But if you do, they end up running away and then coming back and killing you. I think the film was a very good example of how unhelpful that kind of corporal punishment can be. All it did was cement Lord Bullingdon's feelings against Barry, make him more and more cynical, hate him more and more, and it ended up ruining Barry's life and finally ending Barry's life. Or when he's that young, and anybody would be a bit upset and worried about their mother suddenly getting married to someone you don't know that you're being expected to call father. And you just need to try and level with them a bit and show them a bit of kindness, and kids come round, don't they?
Yeah.
But not in the olden days. People didn't understand that children had emotion in the olden days. They thought you just beat them and then they grow up to get involved in duels and raise their children by beating them, and then it's all just a vicious cycle.
Circle of life.
It's chain-shaped.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, you're right. It's rough.
Was Lord Bullingdon sort of a bit unhealthily in love with his mum?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, what?
It went beyond just son loves his mum, didn't it? He holding her hand and some of the ways he looked at her.
Oh.
I thought it was a bit weird. I never really thought of it that way, but now that you're saying it does kind of make sense.
It's a bit. Well, I've got Lord Oedipus written down here.
Okay. I didn't pick up on that.
Because he also did want to kill his stepfather.
Yeah.
So,
True. I thought the boy just loved his mum.
I think he loved his mum.
Oh dear. Well, it probably helped that she didn't age. Unless she was about 25 for the entire film.
Wait, we've discussed about this. We've said that women don't age, or at least age better than men.
Yes.
I thought about this, right, so I don't think, to be fair, because I was thinking, oh God, they can put them in grey wigs, but they're not doing much for them. But they must have only been about 30 in the end. So, because he must have been like at most 20 at the beginning, his character.
Well, I thought he looked old for the age they were pitching him at the beginning.
Yeah. He probably was. Like, yeah, I thought that a bit as well, but I think he was meant to be about 20 or something. He was only in the army for about 6 years. He might have been 18 to 20. So let's say he's mid-20s. And then it's 8 years that we follow on from, because Brian grows up to be 8, and that's where the stuff happens.
9.
So almost 9. That's it.
That's probably why they had the sheep around.
Well, which birthday did he have? Was that his 8th birthday? Or
that was his 8th birthday.
The horse was for his 9th.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you're right.
But then we don't know how long Barry spent just sort of touring Europe as a card guy, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Got to add that on.
That's at least probably a few years, isn't it?
And then I guess
never mind. Yeah.
After Brian dies, there could have been, well, we imagine there were quite a few years before Lord Bullingdon came back.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I got the sense that happened quite quickly.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe not though. Maybe I imagine it happened like reasonably fast after she got rid of the Reverend, because he seemed to go straight. Or I imagine he went to Lord Bullingdon to try and bring him, and that kind of spurred events on a bit fast. But she could have been grieving for quite a long time.
Yeah.
That kind of drove the mother to kick the Reverend out.
Yeah. Okay.
Although I kind of got the sense that she just wanted rid of him.
Yeah, well, she used the pretense of not having children around to get rid of him. So
yeah.
I think that suggests it was quite early after Brian's death.
Yeah, okay. Oh.
Still, that's around 20 years. That kind of does scupper my theory that they don't age.
Told you it's a long film. There's a lot in there.
Yeah.
So I would love to live in a great big house like that with great big grounds and all of that. Watching this film.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah. It really made me think,
do I
could do that.
Staff? Because I would not like to do the housework in a big house.
No, I wouldn't like to do the housework, but they didn't seem to be doing an awful lot of housework.
No.
In fact, I think she had 3 people there to help her have a bath. So I don't think she was short of servants.
Yeah. Cool. That's fine.
Another fun
do
fact.
That, then.
That bath got really cold because Stanley Kubrick apparently, with every single scene, would just make them do like dozens and dozens to like hundreds of just takes over and over again without giving them any direction, including the bath scene. So it just kept getting cold. She had to keep getting out. They'd fill it with warm water
really
again.
Miserable.
Yeah.
I thought she was dead.
Oh
for
my
a
God.
lot of that scene.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The characters are so still and slow. But yeah, especially there.
Yeah, I thought that was maybe the point in that scene for the first maybe 10 or 15 seconds. I thought she'd maybe taken her own life in response to how he was treating her.
Oh.
And that's what that was going to be. But then I saw her breathing.
Yeah, okay. Gosh.
Yeah, that was an intense scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet the main thing I was thinking was, I can't believe there's a cushion on her bath.
Yeah, I was well jealous.
There's like that whole backboard that she was lying against.
Yeah.
That was like embroidered and with stuffing and everything. It must just get so wet every single time.
Oh, and then stink.
Yeah, it would just like you'd do that twice and it would get mouldy.
Yeah. 1700s, eh? They didn't really know what they were doing with anything.
They didn't have a fucking clue, did they? All they knew how to do was to make dashing military uniforms.
Yeah.
They were
Apart from that, nothing. Anyone else slightly disappointed there were no naval scenes?
Nope.
I thought for sure he'd go to sea at some point. And...
Nope.
Oh, we had that one like tiny shot of a boat in water to signify him moving from Ireland to Europe, and then they were like, "We don't need to know about that." I was like, "Fair enough." To be honest, we hear about a lot, and his life at sea, you don't need it.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently that bit's just not important. What other notes have I got? He gets less romantic with each partner, sadly.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
He's absolutely enthralled by Nora, and he's shy and bashful and completely in love. And then the next one's the German girl, who I think is credited as German girl in the credits at the end.
Another strong, powerful female role.
Yeah, I liked her. She was just nice, wasn't she?
Yeah.
But
even
again,
though the narrator basically called her a whore.
Oh, I don't remember now.
Do you remember that? He was like, the life of a soldier's wife needs to get used to, like, saying goodbye to many lovers, and we can assume that this town was stormed and occupied many times before this.
Okay. Oh, dear.
Yeah. I think all the narration is from the book. Like, they just lifted passages. And
that's good.
Michael Hordern reads. Like, yeah. That was good.
And then he adds in the dripping irony and sarcasm.
Yeah.
Excellent. But yeah, with the German girl, he was sort of loving, but not in love. He's nice, but also he's like, totally cheating with respect to her husband and everything. It was a bit more gross. And then later it's Lady Lyndon that he was totally just in it for the money.
Yeah.
And then I think the last people we see is those prostitutes, and that's it.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, that's really good. I think that's kind of his moving from being kind of... It totally maps out with his character, the way he moves from this kind of, like, innocent, bumbling, like, clueless...
romantic.
Meek. Yeah. I think he remains kind of meek, but he gets more and more ambitious and, like... And they keep making a note of saying how he fell into bad company and picked up bad habits and like was generally just selfish and horrible by the end. Yeah. No, that's interesting. It also, like, one of the like key moments in the film for me when the first time I was watching it, when I woke up and I was like, oh my God, that was unexpected, was when they were in the carriage after just getting married.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And he's smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's like my favourite scene in the film because I just thought it came out of nowhere and I was like, "What? Oh my God, he's an arsehole now."
Yeah, exactly.
It's so great when he just blows the smoke in her face. And I was like, where did that come from? Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. What
I kept thinking about it. Yeah.
Real change.
Love it. Yeah.
And again, I was glad that he stopped treating her like that later on.
Yeah.
It's not clear exactly how long that took. Well, in fact, I think it was maybe when Brian is a baby is when there's the bath scene and he goes in and apologises to her, and I think he clears his act up after that. But yeah.
I mean, he still abuses her and her fortune in many ways, but he's maybe not. Does he? Well, he spends all her money, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to become a lord, but
exploits her position in society and stuff like that. Maybe exploits rather than abuses.
Yeah, but then when you're married, it's supposed to you're supposed to share things, aren't you?
He had 30,000 a year.
30,000 a year, Mr. Darcy.
Nearly 100 a day.
To be fair, Mr. Darcy has 10,000 a year, and he's supposed to be like the richest man in England.
Okay.
So
is that
like
the same
she
kind
was
of time?
mega rich. Yeah, it was a thing. So this was 1770s, and Pride and Prejudice is early 1800s. But although I think it was written in the late 1700s.
Okay. Oh yeah, similar.
Yeah, same bit of time. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe a bit of difference, I guess, over 10. Who knows what the economy... I don't know.
I don't know how inflation was
Maybe
going.
Maybe they are equivalent.
Also, they didn't say pounds. They could have been talking about shillings, or there were a lot of guineas going on, weren't there?
Oh, there were a lot of guineas,
All bets are off when you start with guineas.
Mm-hmm.
Units are important, as I keep telling my students.
Cool. On the making of it, so it's designed, I think a lot of the shots were composed to look like oil paintings. Did anyone think
really?
Yeah, so and it's like, I can see that watching it the second time around, how every sort of distance shot is, it's so like an oil painting. It's amazing.
Yeah,
and basically the film is just like a succession of like images and so detailed and like extravagant. It's amazing. You should watch it again.
This was an artistic film, wasn't it?
Maybe I will pick it again because we just need to revel in the oil paintingness.
Well, it hasn't been done yet, but it's your choice.
There's no explicit rule that says I can't do that.
Yeah.
You've got a month to bring it in. Yeah, maybe I'll just send you all some stills. We can appreciate it.
Excellent.
Yeah. I do have an amendment to make.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll wait till the end.
Yeah.
I propose a new game.
I'll look forward to it.
Excellent.
Anyone have any other thoughts on the film?
I'm reading the quote that I think it's attributed to Jackie Kennedy that says, the first time you marry for love, the second one for money, and the third for company. So I wonder if that's what we are meant to learn from the film, and clearly we evolve in our understanding of what marriage is meant to be. And
yeah. Well, but he only got his two.
He only got one with Henry's mum.
Maybe we have to have Barry Lyndon Part 2, where he marries for company.
Barry Lyndon 2, Three's Company.
Barry Lyndon 2's Company. That's
that'll be it.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Barry Lyndon 2's Company.
I think my favorite character was the Reverend Runt.
Dearly beloved.
Didn't he look like he was from that time? What a well-cast actor. My God, what a face for period pieces.
Maybe they resurrected him.
What did you like about Fernando?
What did I like about him? I do not know. I just know that I liked him. I also liked that he was so devoted to the family that when he was told that he was being let go, he said, "Well, it's okay if you do not pay me. I'll just stay and help."
Yeah.
That he seemed to care for the children, even if one of them deserved to die.
Oh, poor Brian.
For Lord Brian.
He was great.
Well, he said one thing that I actually wrote a note down on because it seemed so stupid. Do you remember when he was marrying them and he went through the reasons that marriage is ordained?
Maybe.
It was, not just to satisfy our carnal lust, but for this reason and that reason and that reason. And one of them was to avoid the sin of fornication. That's why we need marriage. And I thought, doesn't fornication just mean having sex when you're not married? So he's saying we need marriage so that people don't not be married. It was a stupid, the idea that marriage was designed to avoid something that is only defined in terms of marriage just seemed a really stupid circular logic. I guess my problem is not with the particular character, but with the entire Church of England.
And the patriarchal institution of marriage.
That too. Well, I mean, there are other good reasons for marriage, I think, and it's a shame that he picked that one for we need marriage because otherwise you're not married.
Well, in fairness, he has to say it as in it will prevent sin. because he can't, as like the vicar or whatever. I get mixed up with all the terms. You can't just be like, "Oh, marriage is great because now you can have sex, hubba hubba,"
Yes.
and start making funny noises because it's a church. So he's got to be like, "Oh, well, it can prevent sin, not now you can have loads of sex, guys." Yeah.
Well, he talked about carnal desire enough, didn't he?
Yeah. It's different though.
That's the 1700s equivalent of going, oh, woo, God. Again, they didn't have a fucking clue, did they?
No. Bloody olden daysers.
It's not like that in the news days.
No, exactly. They didn't even have computers, bloody idiots.
Just in books.
Yeah. Nuts.
Only ones that
That's
grow
everything
locally.
I've written down. Sorry?
I said only ones that grow locally.
Yes, okay.
It was expensive to import nuts. Sorry,
Expect
I'm
so.
very tired. It's been a very long day.
I'm willing to
That's
release
a
you
wrap.
because I don't have anything else written down. Anyone else?
Neither do I, actually. I've covered all my points.
I've covered everything.
Yes, I've all said everything that I wanted to say.
Great. Great film.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm really glad that people liked it.
Well,
Thanks for
well
Melvin
done.
bragging us as well. I always enjoy that.
What did I do?
He said, anything else we should have discussed?
Oh, shit. What did we not talk about that you wanted to talk about?
Oh.
Is
Lovely,
everyone else
Melvin.
getting a lot of, like, any more for any more at the end of meetings on Microsoft Teams? Or is that just a chemistry
No, I haven't had
thing?
any of that. I might start saying that, though. I love that.
Any more for any more?
I usually say, do you have any questions for me to my students?
Oh, to your
And
student.
they
Yeah,
go,
I could try that.
And then they go, no.
But do you pause for a little while after that? I find that if you say, "Oh, do you have any questions?" they say no. And then if you just stay silent for like 10 seconds, they'll start asking questions.
Oh. Well, I mean, I want to get out of there as much as they do, so it's...
Maybe you
No,
should
but
stop
if the
saying that.
answer's
and
no,
start-
I'm happy.
I think it's sometimes that they do have a question, but they've not decided if it's important enough.
Oh, okay.
Well, then maybe they should make up their mind before the class.
Well said. Well said.
I'm going to buy them a horse. That'll teach them.
Tell it like it is, Fernando.
I'm going to play the music now.
Yep, I'm ready.
Sorry.